Thousands of goats sail across oceans every year. Packed into ventilated enclosures, they bleat over the drone of a cargo ship, heading to markets and festivals worldwide. Over 5 million live goats are transported across continents, moving through a vast network of trucks, planes, and ships. From rugged farms to bustling ports, every step is designed to keep them healthy. But crossing vast distances is no simple feat. How do they survive the long haul in peak condition? Scattered across the rugged landscapes of Australia, Africa, and South America, thousands of goats graze under the watchful eyes of farmers who know that some of them will soon be sold, transported, and sent across the world. The selection process is meticulous. Not just any goat is fit for export. Buyers examine weight, age, and breed, favoring animals that can handle long-distance transport and meet the specific demands of foreign markets. Some regions prefer leaner goats with a gamey flavor, while others seek well-fed animals with tender meat. Beyond appearance, resilience matters. Only the healthiest animals, free from disease and strong enough to endure extended travel, are chosen. Veterinary inspections are rigorous as importing countries enforce strict biosecurity laws to prevent outbreaks that could threaten local livestock industries. A single infected goat could halt an entire shipment, leading to costly delays and economic losses for farmers and exporters alike. Once selected, the goats do not leave immediately. Many undergo a quarantine period that lasts anywhere from a few days to several weeks, depending on regulations. In these controlled facilities, they adapt to new feeding schedules designed to reduce digestive issues during transport. Sudden dietary changes can be dangerous, leading to bloating or malnutrition, so farmers gradually transition them to feed that will be available during transit. Water intake is also monitored closely. Dehydration is a serious risk, especially in hotter climates, and early precautions ensure that goats develop strong hydration habits before facing long hours on the move. Leaving the farm is just the beginning. Goats must first endure a trek by truck, often covering hundreds or even thousands of kilometers, before reaching the next stage of transport. The conditions inside these vehicles are critical. Overcrowding leads to stress, injuries, and even trampling, but too much space allows goats to be thrown around on rough roads. Skilled transporters carefully calculate loading densities, balancing safety with efficiency. Drivers must navigate everything from arid deserts to winding mountain passes, often making stops to check on the animals, provide water, and adjust ventilation. Temperature fluctuations pose another challenge. In scorching regions, the risk of heat stroke is high, so some trucks use misting systems or ventilation fans to keep conditions stable. In colder areas, insulation and wind barriers protect goats from extreme chills that could weaken them before arrival. Reaching the port or airport does not mean the hardest part is over. Here, goats are sorted based on their final destinations, undergoing one last round of health inspections. Each step is a logistical puzzle. Customs officials verify paperwork, veterinarians ensure the animals remain fit for travel, and handlers oversee loading procedures that must be swift yet careful. For those traveling by sea, large livestock carriers await. Massive ships equipped with multi-level pens, automatic watering systems, and ventilation designed to replicate natural airflow. These floating farms can transport thousands of goats at once, with onboard caretakers ensuring they receive food, water, and medical attention throughout the passage. The movement of the ship presents unique challenges. Goats, like all livestock, can suffer from seasickness, though they generally adjust after a few days. Feeding schedules are carefully managed to prevent digestive issues, and ventilation systems work continuously to prevent the buildup of ammonia from waste, which could lead to respiratory problems. Air transport offers a faster alternative, reducing travel times significantly. However, flying livestock comes with its own difficulties. Goats must be placed in specialized crates arranged to prevent excessive movement that could lead to injuries during turbulence. The changes in air pressure can also be stressful, causing dehydration more rapidly than sea transport. To counteract this, handlers ensure that goats are well hydrated before departure and limit their food intake to prevent stomach discomfort at high altitudes. Despite the high costs associated with air freight, some buyers prefer this method to guarantee that their livestock arrives as quickly as possible, particularly during peak demand periods such as religious festivals where fresh goat meat is essential. Whether by land, sea, or air, each method of transport comes with precise planning and careful execution. Mistakes can be costly, both financially and in terms of animal welfare. The goal is not just to deliver the goats, but to ensure they arrive healthy, strong, and in prime condition for sale. The journey is long, but the stakes are even higher. Every detail, from the design of transport enclosures to the timing of feeding schedules, plays a role in determining the success of the operation. It is a logistical dance where every step must be perfectly executed to prevent losses and maintain the delicate balance between efficiency and humane treatment. Moving live animals across vast distances is never simple. Unlike packaged goods, goats require constant care, stable conditions, and precise handling to prevent stress, injuries, and even fatalities. Heat stress is one of the most serious concerns, particularly when goats are transported through arid regions or across equatorial waters. Their bodies generate heat naturally, and when packed together in confined spaces, temperatures can rise dangerously high. Overheating leads to dehydration, fatigue, and in severe cases, death. To counter this, modern livestock carriers are equipped with advanced ventilation systems, cooling mechanisms, and automated misting units that spray fine water droplets to regulate body temperature. But even with these systems in place, external factors such as unexpected heat waves or mechanical failures can still put the entire shipment at risk. The opposite extreme can be just as dangerous. Goats transported through colder climates or during winter months face the threat of hypothermia, which weakens their immune systems and makes them more susceptible to disease. To prevent this, transporters use insulated enclosures, wind barriers, and controlled feeding regimens that help animals generate internal heat. But temperature isn't the only challenge. Long transit times bring additional complications. A goat stuck on a ship for weeks can develop respiratory problems if ventilation systems fail or if waste management isn't handled efficiently. Ammonia buildup from urine and feces can cause lung irritation, leading to coughing, lethargy, and reduced appetite. That's why livestock ships have strict cleaning schedules with waste flushed out regularly through drainage systems that prevent the buildup of harmful gases. Food and water supply is another logistical puzzle. A single goat may consume several liters of water per day, and when thousands are being transported at once, keeping them hydrated becomes a full-time operation. Modern ships feature automated drinking stations, but ensuring that every animal gets enough water isn't always straightforward. Some goats struggle to adapt to unfamiliar drinking mechanisms, requiring handlers to manually guide them toward hydration sources. Feeding presents a similar challenge. Any sudden change in diet can disrupt digestion, leading to bloating, malnutrition, or worse. To prevent this, exporters gradually transition goats onto pelleted feed before transport, ensuring their digestive systems are accustomed to the food they will receive en route. But even with the best planning, not every trip goes smoothly. Rough seas can create unpredictable conditions, causing goats to lose their footing and suffer injuries. In extreme cases, violent storms force ships to alter course or delay unloading, extending the animal's time at sea. Air transport, while significantly faster, has its own risks. Sudden pressure changes can cause dehydration, while loud engine noise increases stress levels. Unlike sea voyages where caretakers can monitor goats continuously, flights leave little room for mid-journey interventions. Once the cargo doors are sealed, the animals must endure until landing. Regulatory hurdles further complicate the process. Importing countries enforce strict livestock welfare laws, requiring exporters to meet high standards for transport conditions, documentation, and quarantine procedures. Failure to comply can result in entire shipments being rejected, forcing exporters to reroute or, in extreme cases, return goats to their country of origin, an outcome that is not only costly but also highly stressful for the animals. Health inspections at arrival ports can be intense, with officials checking for signs of disease, malnutrition, or mistreatment. Any indication of poor welfare can lead to heavy fines or bans on future shipments. Beyond logistics, ethical concerns loom over the industry. Animal welfare organizations frequently scrutinize the conditions in which livestock are transported, pushing for tighter regulations and improved handling practices. Some advocate for a complete shift away from live exports, arguing that processed meat shipments could replace the need to move animals across borders. However, demand for live goats remains high, particularly in regions where fresh meat is culturally significant. Many consumers prefer purchasing live animals to slaughter them according to religious customs, making live transport an unavoidable part of the global trade network. Despite these challenges, the industry continues to refine its methods, balancing efficiency with humane treatment. Every aspect of transport, from loading density to waste disposal, is carefully managed to minimize losses and ensure that animals arrive in good condition. But with increasing scrutiny and evolving regulations, exporters must constantly adapt, finding new ways to transport goats safely while meeting the growing demand of international markets. Technology has transformed the way goats are transported across continents, introducing innovations that improve efficiency, reduce losses, and enhance animal welfare. One of the most significant advancements is the development of climate-controlled livestock carriers, designed to maintain stable temperatures even in extreme weather conditions. These massive ships, built specifically for live animal transport, feature advanced ventilation systems that regulate airflow, preventing heat buildup in warm climates and protecting animals from cold exposure in harsher environments. Onboard temperature sensors provide real-time data, allowing crews to adjust cooling and heating systems as needed. This level of control significantly reduces stress-related illnesses, ensuring that goats remain in good health throughout the voyage. Automated feeding and watering systems have also improved the transport process. Traditional methods required handlers to manually distribute food and water, a time-consuming and inconsistent process that often led to uneven distribution. Today's livestock ships and long-haul trucks use mechanized feeding stations that dispense measured portions at scheduled intervals. Water supply systems operate on gravity-fed designs or pump-driven mechanisms, ensuring a continuous flow to prevent dehydration. These systems not only improve efficiency, but also help maintain consistency in diet and hydration, reducing the risk of digestive issues that often arise from sudden dietary changes. Tracking and monitoring technology has further enhanced live goat exports. GPS-enabled collars and RFID, radio frequency identification tags, allow exporters to track shipments in real time, providing critical data on location, environmental conditions, and even individual animal movement. This technology is particularly useful in long-haul trucking, where road conditions and unexpected delays can impact travel time. By monitoring goats remotely, transport managers can anticipate potential issues, reroute shipments if necessary, and ensure that animals receive timely care. Some advanced tracking systems also monitor stress indicators, such as heart rate and activity levels, alerting handlers if an animal shows signs of distress. To reduce stress during transit, researchers have explored the impact of environmental enrichment, introducing design changes in transport enclosures to make them more comfortable. Studies have shown that goats are less likely to injure themselves when they are transported in pens with non-slip flooring and structured resting areas. Some transporters have even experimented with calming scents and soundproofing techniques to minimize noise stress, particularly in air travel, where the loud hum of engines can be unsettling for livestock. Sustainability has also become a growing focus in live animal transport. Shipping live goats across oceans requires significant fuel consumption, contributing to carbon emissions. In response, some transport companies have started investing in hybrid-powered livestock carriers that reduce reliance on fossil fuels. Others have implemented waste recycling systems on board, converting animal waste into biofuel or using it as fertilizer upon arrival at destination ports. While these initiatives are still in early stages, they represent a shift toward more environmentally conscious practices in an industry that has long been criticized for its ecological footprint. Despite technological advancements, ethical debates surrounding live goat exports continue to shape the industry. Animal welfare groups push for stricter regulations, demanding better transport conditions and shorter transit times. Some countries have imposed restrictions on live animal exports, requiring higher welfare standards before approving shipments. In response, exporters are continuously refining their methods, implementing new technologies and best practices to ensure that goats are transported as safely and humanely as possible. With ongoing improvements in transport technology, monitoring systems, and welfare practices, the global goat export industry continues to evolve. What was once a risky and unpredictable trade has become a highly coordinated operation, blending logistics, science, and innovation. While challenges remain, these advancements demonstrate how human ingenuity can improve efficiency while prioritizing the well-being of the animals that sustain global markets. Across deserts, mountains, and oceans, millions of goats travel each year in a global trade that blends tradition, commerce, and science. From careful selection on remote farms to high-tech ships equipped with climate control, every step of their passage is designed to ensure they arrive strong and healthy. Yet, even with modern innovations, the challenges remain immense. Heat stress, long transit times, and ethical concerns continue to push the industry toward new solutions. Some argue that processed meat exports could replace live transport, while others emphasize the deep cultural and economic significance of fresh livestock trade. As demand for goat meat grows, the future of live transport will depend on balancing efficiency with humane treatment. Advances in technology offer promising improvements, but regulations and shifting consumer preferences may ultimately reshape how livestock moves across the world. The next time you see goat meat in a market or on a plate, consider the incredible distances traveled and the complex logistics that make it possible. The global food system is far more intricate than it seems, and behind every shipment of live animals lies a network of people, technology, and careful planning that ensures these animals arrive in peak condition, ready to feed communities thousands of miles from where they were raised.